You know, martial arts have been part of world culture for thousands of years. There's so many different styles and everything. Well, today on the show, we're at the American Martial Art Academy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Well, that's a long one there.
It is.
Jim Fiore is the owner
Pleasure.
and instructor here. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
You too.
As I mentioned, there are so many different styles of martial arts. There's different ones, I guess, for different people as far as this. Tell us what attracted you to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So I actually started out in Taekwondo, so I have my black belt in Taekwondo. Then over the years, I just started looking at other martial arts to kind of build my skill set. The thing that attracted me to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is there's actually a reality-based component to it. You know, Taekwondo is great, a lot of the other martial arts are great, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has a real-life application to what may happen outside. We all know that most fights will typically go to the ground. Well, as a stand-up fighter in Taekwondo, I knew great stand-up technique, but once I went to the ground, I didn't know what to do.
I'm there with you because I studied Taekwondo for several years myself, and you're right about that. Whereas, you know, as you said, most of your fights, they end up close in on each other. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to throw a round kick from right here and be very effective with it.
Yeah, so prior to me actually opening up my own school, when my wife and I were in San Antonio, I went in and enrolled in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy. And I just loved it. You know, the great thing with Jiu-Jitsu is we're in like these big pajamas and you feel like a kid rolling around on the mat. The camaraderie is great. The level of accountability is great. The brotherhood, it's like it's a big fraternity, has a very large similarity to military culture with rank and structure, honor, integrity, leaving everything out on the mat with your warriors and your brothers.
Now, I know that I have some personal friends that are also involved in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world that teach at the police academies. And that's one of the big things for them. As you said, you know, an officer gets into a struggle with someone, they're not going to be, you know, it's going to be close one-on-one. They've got to be able to know what to do in so many different situations. I've been through Emma Baptiste's class. She won't mind me mentioning her because I love her to death. But I've been through one of her classes, and I mean, the things that you learn in so many different situations that you can be in, and again, I mean, the jiu-jitsu part of it comes through when you learn that.
It does. You know, going back to, you know, the police force, military, women is typically when you are in an altercation, when you get hit, you're going to be rattled. You know, you may take a couple of steps back, and if you're in a home or outdoors, you may fall over a bench, you may fall over a root, the terrain may be uneven and you're on the ground. And now your attacker has the upper hand, he's in a more dominant position. So how do you as the victim now become victorious and put yourself in a more dominant position? And so a lot of the techniques that we teach in Jiu-Jitsu are going to help better that person for that potential altercation.
Now, besides the self-defense and everything you learn, it's great, the things that you learn, the physical part of it, great exercise, great workout, but also the mental part of it.
Yeah, there's a huge level of perseverance. You can see, like, I already got done training, so I'm pretty sweaty as it is, but you know, after an hour of training, when you're physically fighting against somebody bigger than you or that same skill set and you're pushing that person off of you, it takes a lot of power, it takes a lot of endurance, it takes a lot of having that indomitable spirit that we've always kind of like talked about in Taekwondo.
Remember that.
Well, the same thing is true in here. When you're fighting against somebody bigger than you or smaller with a higher level skill set, you have to have that fortitude, you have to have that stamina, because if not, you are going to lose the fight. And so much of the martial art is building that mental perseverance, is building that mental fortitude, because when you're in an altercation, once your brain wavers, once you start hesitating, then what happens is you're going to lose that fight. So in here, every single day when you're hitting that grind and you're battling out with your teammates, you start building that resiliency in your body and you start understanding and learning that you do have the power, you do have the fortitude to win.
Now, we see adults back here, but you have classes for children as well. I mean, you start out, you know, very young ages.
Yeah, we actually started at age 3. So we have our tiny tykes ages 3 to 4. We have our kids classes, which is about 5 to 9. Our juniors, our upper kids, bigger kids, preteens, and then we have our teens and our adults that train together. So we have 4 different age groups training here at our facility at least 5 times a week.
Now, one of the things too is I learned from the years I was in Taekwondo, the mental state that, and especially that you teach the children, to where you're not teaching them to go out and be bullies and attack people.
Not at all, no.
You're teaching them, again, self-defense, but also a better mindset.
We are. The big thing we teach them in here is using common sense before self-defense. You know, using your brain, using your surroundings as a way to put a physical barrier between yourself and the attacker. But more so, the big thing in here that we teach the kids is we want to better their confidence, their character, and their courage every day on the mat when they're out here training with us.
Let's talk about self-defense classes for women. That's something that you also do.
We offer self-defense classes. We try to do at least once a month with our staff members here. And so the self-defense classes, what they do is they teach retention, recall, and responsiveness. They look at the big 5 attacks that most likely a woman will, or a teen, will most likely encounter, which is going to be a push, a punch, a rear bear hug, a front choke, and a tackle.
And that is actually a free class that you offer to ladies on a Saturday, once a month here. And this mat here, you see them throwing around. That's a pretty thick, cushy piece there.
It
even
is.
has shock absorbers underneath
it. Does, yeah. So we have about 1,800 square feet of professional grappling mats. Underneath our mats, we have about 4 inches of foam padding. So underneath, there's about 2,000 foam blocks. And we use that for safety for our students, and then also recovery as well.
Now, if someone's interested in classes, I guess you have them different times during the week and on the weekends.
Yeah, so anybody can come in at any time. We have open enrollment Monday through Friday. So the biggest thing they have to do is just give us a phone call or stop in. Myself or one of my staff members will help them out. We'll get them onto the mat for our first trial class, and then after that, they become part of our team and our family.
Now, it takes a while to advance on up. You've been doing this for several years.
About 8 years.
About 8 years. And one of the other great things about it is going to different tournaments that they have, not only locally, but nationwide.
Yeah, so in Jiu-Jitsu and most martial arts, the great thing with it is you get to travel, you get to see the country. If you have the ability, you can go international as well. So the camaraderie and brotherhood, sisterhood, and competition is great. A lot of our people in here are competitors as well, and so it helps push us. It helps make the training better. It gives us a reason to why we're in here every single day training so hard.
Well, Jim Fiore, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
If you want some more information, you can call the number on your screen. They're also on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
And you can find out exactly what time the classes are. Come and check them out. And ladies, don't forget, also go online and you can find out more about the self-defense classes they have here. They are located in D'Iberville, the street outside
Seymour.
Seymour in D'Iberville.